Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Diaries channel. There are certain moments in life that need no words. Moments when language becomes too small to contain true feelings. And for many armies around the world, that moment happened when Jungkook hugged Jimin. It wasn't just a hug. It wasn't just fan service. As those who refuse to look deeper often call it. It was an honesty revealed. A feeling too real to hide. And Jungkook's reaction afterward was proof that it was hard to deny. On stage, amidst thousands of eyes, bright lights, and resounding cheers, Jungkook was a superstar. He was used to controlling his expressions, maintaining his demeanor, and understanding that his every move would be analyzed. But when Jimin was in his arms, all that control seemed to crumble. There was a subtle but noticeable change. The way Jungkook lowered his head, the way his arms tightened, the way his breathing visibly changed. It wasn't the reaction of someone acting. The hug felt like the world around them disappeared. It was like just two people finding a safe haven in each other. Jungkook didn't smile for the camera. He didn't seek cheers. He didn't play with the moment. Instead, he lost himself in it. And that's when many armies realized something they'd always felt but struggled to explain. Jungkook's feelings for Jimin weren't just a closeness between members. What made this moment even more powerful was Jungkook's reaction after the hug ended. He seemed to pause for a moment, his expression shifting, his eyes not immediately returning to the audience. There was a small, very human pause, as if he just realized he'd let something very personal be seen by the world. His lips tensed, his jaw slightly set, and his gaze blanked for a moment. It was the reaction of someone whose emotions were too honest to hide. For years, Jungkook had been known to keep his feelings to himself. He didn't easily express his emotions with words. He often showed them through small actions, through consistent habits, through attention that was almost invisible if not paying close attention. And it was precisely because of this that Jungkook's reaction to Jimin's hug felt so powerful. It was an emotion that had escaped the barrier he'd built. Many tried to rationalize the moment. They claimed it was just part of the show, that they were simply fulfilling fans' expectations. But if that were true, why was Jungkook's reaction so uncontrollable? Why did he seem more vulnerable than usual? Fan service is usually all smiles, all camera consciousness, and deliberate gestures. This hug was different, felt spontaneous, deep, and all too personal. Jimin, on the other hand, had always been the one who understood Jungkook's emotions in a way no one else could. In that hug, Jimin looked calm, as if he knew exactly what Jungkook was feeling. There was no surprise, no hesitation, only acceptance. It was as if the hug wasn't something foreign to them, but something that had existed for a long time, just rarely seen in public. Jimin and Jungkook's relationship has always been built on a very strong emotional trust. From their trainee days until now, they've grown together, overcoming the same pressures, exhaustion, fears, and dreams. A bond like that can't be faked. And when those suppressed emotions finally come to the surface, the result is moments like this hug. Honest, raw, unfiltered. Jungkook's reaction afterward is the most talked about part, because that's where the confession is felt. He doesn't say anything, but his body says so much. The way he sighs, the way he pulls away slightly with his face still filled with emotion, the way he tries to distract himself but fails completely. It's the body language of someone who has just let their feelings show. For many armies, this isn't a surprise. It's confirmation. For years, they've seen the way Jungkook looks at Jimin, the way he always stays closest to him, the way his voice changes when he says Jimin's name. All of it is like puzzle pieces that finally form a complete picture in this moment of embrace. What makes this moment even more touching is the realization that Jungkook knows the world is watching. Yet his feelings prevail. He still embraces Jimin in a way that can't be misinterpreted. He still reacts with an honesty that can't be hidden. And perhaps that's where the true confession lies. Not in words, but in the courage to be honest with one's feelings, even if only for a moment. The hug becomes a symbol. The love that doesn't always need to be announced, of feelings that don't always need to be labeled. For Jungkook, maybe it wasn't about confessing to the world. Maybe it was just a moment where he no longer held back. And for Jimin, maybe it was a moment where he gave Jungkook a safe space to be his most vulnerable self.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
After that moment passed, the show continued. The music played again. The smiles returned. But for those who were really paying attention, something had changed. There was an emotional silence lingering, like the echo of feelings that had just been silently expressed. And maybe that's why this moment was so memorable. Because in the scripted world of entertainment, we rarely see such raw emotions. We rarely see someone like Jungkook, who is usually so restrained, lose control over a single hug. And we rarely see a relationship as beautiful as Jimin and Jungkook's exposed in such an honest way. Was this a confession of feelings? Maybe not in the conventional sense. But if confession is when someone can no longer hide what's in their heart, then yes, Jungkook's reaction to hugging Jimin was a confession in itself. A confession that his feelings were real, deep, and couldn't be reduced to mere fan service. Ultimately, that hug reminded us that love doesn't always need to be explained. Sometimes it just needs to be felt. And that night, on stage, in front of the world, Jungkook felt it with Jimin. Without words, without a plan, without denial. And perhaps that's the beauty of Jimin and Jungkook's story. Not everything needs to be explained. Not everything needs to be labeled. There were feelings present enough, felt enough, and honest enough to leave a mark on the hearts of those who witnessed it. That hug wasn't about the camera, not about the stage, but about two souls finding solace in each other, even if only for a moment. If you felt the same way when you saw that moment, you're not alone. Many armies around the world felt the same emotional flutter, because we saw something real, something sincere, something that couldn't be faked. And perhaps that's why this small moment felt so big. Thank you for watching and sticking with us until the end. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments section. How did you feel when you saw Jungkook and Jimin's hug? If you like content like this, hit the like button, subscribe, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of Jikook's stories. See you in the next video. Stay with Jikook Diaries, a place where every little moment matters, and every feeling is worth feeling.